Hello. All right, this is official. We're actually starting the program a little bit early, so you can be thankful for that. So I just want to welcome everyone here tonight. I'm Jackie Hanton, the Vice President here at the Community Foundation. First, I want to say thank you to all of our entertainment for this evening. We had first up the St. Clair High School Jazz Band, then we had Wood String Wood. Yeah, give them a round of applause. And then we ended with the Tom Walker Band. So thank you all for your performances tonight. So welcome to the Community Foundation's 80th anniversary celebration, 80 years. We're so glad you are here with us. We're gonna celebrate the people, the places that make our Thumb Coast so special. So those who have greatly impacted not only the Community Foundation, but each of you in this room, the people who are our donors and are our doers. It's my pleasure to lead the donor side of the work at the Community Foundation. I truly enjoy it. I've been here 9 years now, and that's been hundreds of donors. But when you think back over the 80 years of the foundation, that's thousands of donors who have given back over that time. Tonight, you're gonna hear about small and large examples of giving back, young donors, our more life experience donors. Just last year, we had 1,200 gifts that came into the Community Foundation. That was for 300 charitable funds that we have. And that included gifts of 100% giving back by our board and our staff alongside each of you in that room. And I think that's something to be commended. So now anyone who knows me, you know that I love quotes. And if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you see those every single day. So for tonight, my friend Chuck had a wonderful quote that I wanted to open with. And Chuck shared, "I think that what we do well at the foundation is to unleash the power of people through our diversity of leadership, our committees, our funds, and our donors." And it's so very true. And tonight we celebrate each and every one of the people who make our work possible, who do our work beside us, the organizations who lead our work throughout our region. And to kick off our evening, I want to share about a couple of those individuals and families who make that possible. First, the DuPont family. So our friends who are here from Yale, Kent DuPont, his intent was simple. He wanted to give back to his hometown. He now lives in Ohio, but he really wanted to benefit Yale High School and all of those students for ways that were non-sports related. He wanted them to be able to have foreign language clubs, to be able to do theater, to be able to have a book club, which you see a photo of here. We're 4 years into helping that family give back. They're going to do that for 10 years. So over that 10-year time frame, they're going to invest $400,000 back into the Yale students and the Yale schools. And we're super proud to work with them. And I have to say, I smile every time, and I haven't seen them yet tonight because I've been buzzing around, but every time Brad Dykstra or Kurt Sutton send me pictures of the kids enjoying the field trips or of producing the plays that the kids produce, we send that on to the family, and they just beam. And that's what we're here for. That's what it's all about. Our next two amazing donors, who are known to many of you in this room, also pictured on this slide, Jeff and Jennifer Cush. They've immersed themselves in volunteering and giving back during their retirement years. They've supported many local organizations. They help make our work possible at the Community Foundation. They're donors that I can go to for ideas, things that we want to pilot, things that we want to try. But most importantly, most recently, you can see the impact and the passion of their work through the Blue Water Ally Center in downtown Port Huron. And we're truly blessed to have them changing our community, changing people's lives, and bettering our community through their generosity. So thank you, Jeff and Jennifer. Another individual, Dr. Zimmer, is a former physician who wants to help kids in the gap. He wants to help students that are almost there. They can almost do it, but not quite. They're trying, they're working, they want to make it through school, but they just need a little bit of help. And Dr. Zimmer, through his generosity and numerous other donors here tonight, they believe in the philosophy of the Community Foundation, which is to help students from when they start school all the way through graduation. Not one-time awards, not just graduating seniors, but truly the students who are trying and working to be able to graduate successfully. And on this slide here, we actually have 3 of those successful students who have graduated here with us tonight. And if Diamond Carruthers, Lindsay Sargent, and Kate Bosma would stand, congratulations. Now, the next name should be familiar to most all of you. Our friends down the road in Marysville, Randy Fernandez. He's always willing to say, I'll raise the funds, or if we can't do it in Marysville, I just want it somewhere here in the region. Well, we celebrated with Marysville last Friday, and Randy led the charge, and their Marysville Community Fund is now $100,000 stronger because of the efforts of Randy and his team. And so thank you to them. And so as I wrap up, I have to mention our friends at SC4, and I don't know where the table is because these lights are really, hello, and Tom Anderson. So Tom Anderson passed away this year, but we were super blessed to be able to administer a fund that is going to benefit SC4 students, and we're so thankful for the partnership that the Community Foundation gets to work with the SC4 Foundation and to help more and more students just like those that we just saw with Diamond and Kate. And so we're thankful that Tom remembered SC4 students and was willing to work with the Community Foundation to help leave his legacy for future years. And I have so many more heartfelt, passionate, truly generous stories that I could share with you tonight, but that would take us through tomorrow. I don't think anybody wants to sleep here overnight. So I'm going to move forward with our celebration, and it's my pleasure to introduce our president and CEO, Randy Myers.
How's the sound? How's the sound in the back? Is that okay? We have an echo up here on the back wall. I need my glasses. So good evening, and thank you all. Yes, I need my glasses. I'm old. Appreciate you all joining us tonight. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years since we've had a dinner like this. We try to do it every few years, but somehow it got away from us, so it's been 5 years. And it's just amazing to see all the friends and donors and partners here tonight helping us celebrate 80 years of philanthropy in St. Clair County. I got to tell you, we're one of the oldest community foundations in Michigan, and it goes to the strength of character of the people that live here. Interesting room tonight. A lot of lawyers, a lot of bankers, a lot of accountants, and guess who has a microphone? I don't know who's more nervous right now, the bankers or the CPAs in the room. All right, let's start with the bankers. We have a lot of bankers here tonight, in the back, in the front, an entire table up here in the front row. And I'm not really going to pick too much on our bankers because they did help us pay for this beautiful evening, and we're truly grateful for the support of all of our corporate friends, especially our bankers, so thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, you know, in these times of runaway inflation and high interest rates, it's good that our bankers are doing well, so we have that going for us. But I do have to be a little careful. I said I'm not going to pick on our bankers too much. We have a very important bank CEO here tonight, Anne Marie Oldford. Thank you for coming tonight. Harold Burns told me I could say that. And Will's one of Donna's best friends, so it's totally fine. Over here we have a group of hardworking lawyers at the far table. Well, hardworking women lawyers, and then there's John Adair. He's over there. He's the token male attorney at Kelly Law. And then we have a retired attorney. Where is he hiding? There he is. Mr. Kelly is here tonight. Thank you very much, Chuck. I heard attorneys really don't retire. They just want you to pay him with Venmo. But Chuck is happy tonight. He has his friends and family here, a lot of Michigan fans, which is awesome. Hope you all enjoyed the winning while it lasted. I heard the whole school's been suspended by the NCAA. And I'm not going to pick on Michigan State. I mean, what fun is that, to pick on someone when they're down? I'm actually surprised that all of the green and white fans here tonight haven't switched to the other green and white college, which Mona, do you know? Eastern Michigan University. That's it? Oh, man. And over here, we have multiple tables of CPAs. I'm definitely not picking on the CPAs tonight. One of them does my taxes. Linda Finnegan, thank you. I don't know how you keep manipulating those numbers. You haven't been caught so far, so I say it's all good. Keep up doing whatever you're doing. My kids appreciate it. Now, to be fair and equal, Chuck Kelly over there is wondering, is Randy going to poke fun of Donna Neester, who one of her 13 jobs is a CPA? No, Chuck, I'm not picking on Donna Neester. In the world of untouchable women, there's probably 3. Mother Teresa, Taylor Swift, and Donna Neester, and not in that order. But since we announced this dinner a year ago, I have been thinking about what to say about Donna to poke fun at her. And it's a surprise, especially to our Atchison team. Donna likes chocolate. I mean, Donna likes chocolate. When she was president, every meeting had chocolate. So in the back, we have chocolate from Todd May at Sweet Tooth in Marine City, which I think I saw a few people sampling. Looks awesome. Yep, Todd May is an awesome person. Chuck's ice cream is back there from Dots, so I hope you enjoyed that. And feel free to go grab some more if you haven't had a chance. Speaking of treats, a few weeks ago I had a gin club event. I have a gin club. My wife hijacked the gin club event. It was cool too. But in honor of my gin club friends, Carissa, my buddy, we have Tanqueray number 10 and Fever Tree at the bar. Speaking of my wife, though, Town Hall is one of the great local organizations. They've been around a long time. And Bev just finished a 2-year term as president, and she was awesome. We have a lot of judges here tonight. I know you thought you were immune. No, I don't think so. I think all the judges are here. I haven't seen this many judges since the last election year, 4 years ago, but it's good to have them here. Therese Damon's here. Now, she's a board member, so she had to bring a guest, which is fine. Dan Damon, Judge Dan Damon. But Therese, I have to ask, at Halloween, has he ever done Grizzly Adams? I know half of you are too young. Grizzly Adams, the TV guy, kind of like Dan, but not exactly. All right, as much as I would like to keep a Tom Brady kind of theme going here, we do need to move on to something else. You know, there's a popular singer these days named Jelly Roll. Some of you may have heard of him. He was at an awards ceremony a while ago, and in his acceptance speech, he said something that resonated with me as I thought about tonight. He said, you know, in your car, there's a reason your rear view mirror is smaller than your windshield. And it made me stop and think. And tonight, we're here to celebrate 80 years of looking through the windshield. And it is important that we look back and remember what we've done in the past, but it's also important we stay focused on the future. Jackie gave some examples of donors who make our work possible, so I want to shine the light a little bit on some of the doers in the room, the people that do the work. Without these people who have the passion and dedication for giving back and serving others, our work and the work of our foundation, our committees, our endowments, and our donors would not simply be possible. Some of these people volunteer and donate their time. Others are paid, but trust me, they're not paid enough. So I'm going to highlight a few names in groups of 2. I ask that you all just hold your applause until I do the groups of 2. Can we do that, Don? Yes, we can do that. First, Sarah Jones and Rochelle Bannon. Would you please just stand real quickly? Sarah Jones, every single day, Sarah worries about having enough food and money to feed people at the soup kitchen, and yet every time I see her, she has a smile on her face. Rochelle Bannon runs our women's shelter. Imagine the stress of every single day of your job. You're worried about saving the lives of women and children going through trauma. That's what Rochelle does. Thank you both for your service. We have a father and son team, Carl Miller and Tony Miller. Where are the Millers today? Could you please stand? Oh, did the Millers not make it? Oh my gosh. All right. Carl and Tony run RC3 Church just a few blocks from here. They remember the early days of the Leonard Center and the impact it had on them. Today they use innovative programs to deliver skills to young people, and the foundation is proud to support their work. The next, I know these 2 are here, Joe and Joan Jacobs. Would you 2 please stand? There they are. Thank you very much. Newer friends of the foundation, go ahead. You got to stand up for 1 minute. They have formed the North American Indigenous Council and are trying to elevate our region's appreciation and respect for the Native American indigenous community, which have been overlooked for so long. The foundation is really proud to be your friend and happy to have you in the family, and thanks for all that you're doing, Joe and Joan Jacobs. The next is our own Maggie Toole and Ira Santillano. These two young women are here somewhere. Don't be shy. They have such a passion for giving back and being involved, and they work quietly behind the scenes. Without much fanfare or attention, they help us reach underserved students with our scholarship programs, and we're thankful for their work. We're also happy to have Maggie's sister, Irene Michaels, here. We have a lot of family ties at the foundation. Thanks, Irene. Thanks, Maggie. Thanks, Iris. Andy Baku and Josh Chapman. You may know Andy as our resident wine expert. Where is Andy? There's Andy. No, that's Josh. There's Andy. You can do it, Andy. I know he's shy. You may know Andy as our resident wine expert at the Wolverine Market, but he's also a truly passionate volunteer. The guy does more events than anybody else in the county. He's truly wonderful and one of the kindest humans I know. Josh Chapman, the CEO of the YMCA, truly a rising star in Port Huron. He's a personal friend, a board member of the foundation, who in addition to be a really awesome dad and husband, is completely driven and dedicated to helping our youth change their lives with the Y. Thank you very much, Josh. Thank you, Andy. Finally, two people that share something in common. It's going to be a surprise. Sherry Faust and Cliff Thomason. Will you, Sherry and Cliff, please stand? I know you're both here. I saw you. Where's Sherry? Thank you. Sherry is the executive director of the Friends of the St. Clair River. Cliff is the executive director of the Athletic Factory. What they have in common is they both left professional career jobs they've been in for a long time to pursue their heart and soul, and this community is better off for the both of them being here. And is your partner Marion here tonight? He wasn't able to. So thank you, Sherry and Cliff, for what you do. You know, a lot has changed in the 22 years since Bev and I moved our family here. Just about every nonprofit and local organization, every city, every mayor, the county, every city manager, every school district superintendent has all changed leadership hands in the 22 years since I've been here. Except two people in this room. Two people who way back in 2002 were in the same leadership positions that they are now. Two people who every day for the last 22 years and beyond have found the strength and courage through good times and bad to continue their service and dedication to giving back to this community. I'm proud to have known both of them for these 22 years. They're an inspiration and role model, and I'd like to thank them for their friendship and their service. That's my friend Tyrone Burrell and Miss Donna Easter. Okay, over these last 22 years here, I've had the pleasure of really mentoring 10 different board chairs, teaching them a little bit. But each one has brought their own passion, their own sense of purpose, their own sense of community to the role of board chair, and I can tell you it's not an easy job, to be honest with you. Each one has helped me grow as a person and a professional. They clearly have helped the community and the Community Foundation, so I'm really pleased to introduce our current board chair, Ms. Patty Manley.
He is tough to wrangle some days. Thank you, Randy, and good evening, everyone. Seeing you all here tonight reminds me of the power of community. You put community in the Community Foundation. As Jackie and Randy have said tonight, the theme is about people and places, and they make our region so special. Your Community Foundation is a place-based foundation. This is our place, our wonderful corner of the world. Our decisions and actions, our successes and failures are solely decided by people who live and work here in our region. Many of you tonight have a voice in saying what the foundation does and what we stand for. As board chair, I recognize the weight and expectations that come with this role. In our 8-year history, only 21 other people have had the privilege of serving as chair. So I'm incredibly honored to stand in front of you tonight as the current chair. I am grateful to the leaders who came before me, with several here tonight that I want to mention: Hale Walker, Mike Cansfield, Renda Saman, Donna Neester, Don Fletcher, and Chuck Kelly. Tom Hunter is the only, yes, thank you. Tom Hunter is the only other living former chair, and he was unable to join us tonight. But the foundation chair is just one voice, one vote. I am merely a temporary steward of the Community Foundation. I'm incredibly proud to be a part of a board who works as a team and allows thoughts and ideas to be shared freely. I am totally delighted to say 100% of our board is in attendance tonight. So I would ask that all of the board members please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Many of our staff have been with us for decades, including Karen Lee, who will celebrate 30 years with the foundation in 2025. Karen. Randy has been with us for 22 years. The foundation's family, the foundation's family is blessed with a dedicated staff of full and part-time employees, and we are so thankful to have them. And I would like them to stand this evening and be recognized. They've done a fabulous job with this party. Kevin Toddy, our program officer for community outreach, is struggling with some health issues and couldn't join us tonight. Kevin is doing amazing work in his student support role for our Complete Your Degree program. His ability to connect with people has been seen in countless positive outcomes of students. Kevin wears many hats, which include mentor, pastor, facilitator, and life skills coach. So it is very fitting that Kevin loves hats. So we look forward to his return to work. Jackie has given you a few examples of the donors who make our work possible. Randy has highlighted just a few of the people, partners, and friends who actually do the work. So I would like to briefly touch on our work that impacts places in St. Clair County. Randy often reminds us we give away money every single day of the year. So imagine how hard it is to pick just a few of these events or places that we have done to be able to share with you this evening. We granted 1,000 awards last year, so that's pretty amazing. I've selected 4 projects to give you an idea of what our donors and funds support to leave a permanent legacy. I'm going to start with Marine City, where my firm started in 1974, and we turned 50 this year. So, not me, just the firm. Marine City Marina, we partnered with the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation to provide over $400,000 in funding. It's a great addition to the waterfront and allows walking access for boaters to our downtown. A new pocket park in Capac. Our plans for the future is to be more intentional in increasing our focus on some of our smaller communities, such as Capac. The amazing new Boardwalk Theater in downtown St. Clair. That would make Fred and Frank so very proud. A new pedestrian bridge over the Black River Canal connecting the campuses of Port Huron Northern and Holland Woods Middle School, a project that would not have been possible without the leadership of the City of Port Huron and the Port Huron schools. I think everyone in this room knows that have a prosperous and thriving region, we need to have great people with a passion for making great places, and I thank all of you for making this work possible. Now I'd like to shift to the highlight of the evening, our Distinguished Service Award. The Distinguished Service Award is the highest honor the Community Foundation can bestow upon a person. It is a recognition of truly exceptional and outstanding community service, and it doesn't happen often. It's not an annual award that is given out, but is given to someone who's spent decades going above and beyond in the world of philanthropic leadership. Over the last 80 years, only 27 people have received the award. We're fortunate that two most recent recipients who received their awards in 2019 are here tonight, and I would ask Don Fletcher and Marty Weiss to stand. Now, just a little bit of unique history for you. Marty's wife, Melanie, is also here this evening, and Melanie's maiden name is Andre. Her father, Robert Andre, received the Distinguished Service Award in 1982. Melanie, you certainly know how to pick your men. Your dad was a recipient, and your husband's a recipient. We're also fortunate to have family members from other previous recipients of our Distinguished Service Award here tonight, including family members of John Shire, Fred Moore, Jim Atchison, and Bob Thompson. Now on to tonight's award presentation. I'd like to introduce Bill Schwartz, the vice chair of our board. Bill spent many years on the finance committee and a fair amount of those as chair of the committee. And if you've ever been on a finance committee, it's not necessarily a lot of fun, so we sure appreciate Bill's leadership. I know, right? It's fun. He is one of our longest-serving board members. We are so thankful for the financial and investment expertise he brings to the foundation. Bill?
I take all the credit when the market goes up, and I'm not sure what happens when it goes down. So I have the distinct pleasure this evening to be introducing one of the Lifetime Award recipients, and it's certainly a pleasure to be up here this evening to do that. Chuck Kelly's service to the Community Foundation began in 1982, but his long history of community service began in 1975 when he moved back to Port Huron and quickly got involved with the YMCA. Oh yes, there's Chuck. Now, to give some of our younger audience members some perspective, Gerald Ford was President of the United States in '75. The Dow Jones started the year at 632 points, and I was still in grade school trying to keep the crayon inside the lines. So I'm not sure anyone, including Chuck, could have envisioned that his initial passion for giving back to the Y would end up being a 50-year journey of leadership, philanthropy, dedication, and community service to multiple groups and organizations. Chuck was a 1968 graduate of Port Huron Northern. His father was St. Clair County District Judge James Kelly, and his mother was Janet Kelly, who spent years as a professor at SC4 and also served on the board there. Chuck earned his law degree from Wayne State in 1975 and moved back to Port Huron. His long and respected career as an attorney began as a clerk working for Graft and Sharp, Pat O'Sullivan, and Norm Beauchamp. Chuck considered Pat and Norm his longtime mentors. Pat O'Sullivan, by the way, was a former chair of the foundation and a DSA recipient. Chuck met his future wife, Gail, at a party of mutual friends in 1979. And as Chuck would say, the rest was history. They were married in 1981. Gail was a 1971 graduate of Port Huron Northern and spent 20 years teaching in the Marysville school system. Chuck and Gail's proudest accomplishments are their children, Steve and Elizabeth, who are both here tonight to help celebrate this occasion with their father. They are both fourth-generation University of Michigan graduates. In fact, Steve flew in from Ireland to be here, and Elizabeth is a former New York City resident, currently transitioning back to Ann Arbor. We welcome them both here this evening. Beyond his significant involvement with the Community Foundation, Chuck has demonstrated dedication to other worthwhile causes, such as past president and longtime board member of the Blue Water YMCA, board member of the Blue Water YMCA Foundation and co-chair of the YMCA Major Gifts Committee for the new YMCA, board member of Sanborn Gratiot Memorial Home, business law instructor at SC4, State Bar of Michigan Representative Assembly, past chair for Attorneys for United Way campaigns, past president and board member of Visiting Nurses Association, past board member and president of Port Huron Golf Club, former member of the Planned Gifts Committee at Port Huron Hospital Foundation, former chair and hearing panel member for Michigan Attorney Discipline Board, and countless hours of pro bono legal work for Port Huron Town Hall, Community Foundation, YMCA, and other local nonprofits. Chuck has received the Honorary Life Member Award from the YMCA for efforts warranting lasting recognition, and the Judge James T. Corden Award from the St. Clair County Bar Association for integrity, honesty, ethics, and civility in his work and daily conduct. Beyond generosity with time and talents, Chuck and Gail have been generous with their financial gifts. They have their own donor-advised fund at the foundation and support numerous local groups and projects, including YMCA, Port Huron Schools and Crosstown Showdown, the Alley Center, the Youth Home, Wyatt Walker Fund, Athletic Factory, Women's Initiative. Chuck and Gail are charter members of the Foundation's Legacy Society, and Chuck is a founding member of C3. When Chuck first joined the board in 1982, we didn't have full-time paid staff. Now we have a team of 11. The foundation didn't have permanent endowments back then. Today we have over 300 funds and over $100 million in total assets. Chuck has been an integral part of the foundation's evolution from being a grant maker to a strong community friend and partner. He has seen the Riverwalk grow from just a dream to a reality. He was with the foundation in 2005 when it collaborated with the Atchison Foundation to build and open Studio 1219, which is now known as the Foundry. He was a board member when we bought and owned the Youth Home for Homeless Teens. He was there when we partnered with Community Action Agency and Port Huron Housing to build Oak Crest Homes. Chuck was chair of the Community Foundation in addition to serving on various committees, and is currently still an active board member and member of our main grants committee. Described by a community member as a considerate, kind, and humble leader, he is sensitive to the feelings of others. Much of his influence is done one-on-one. These personal characteristics and style have earned Chuck much love and support from so many people. Chuck Kelly is receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award tonight because he loves his community and spent decades giving back to it. His tenure, consistency, commitment, and generosity make him a rare example and role model for all of us to follow and emulate. I'm so proud now to ask Chuck to come up to the stage and receive his Lifetime Achievement Award. Chuck?
This is it, huh?
This is it, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Chuck, quick picture. Quick picture first. Oh, come in the middle.
Where do you want me to do?
Right in the middle. Don't drop that.
I don't need those.
You do not need it.
Wow. When I became part of the foundation back 42 years ago, I never could have imagined this kind of foundation event, let alone that I would be part of it. Donna and I have talked many times since the night, this night was announced a year ago. about how so appreciative we are, how fortunate we are, and about how wonderfully emotional this night would be. And so it is. Right, Donna? Thank you all so much for being here. It's just unbelievable to have you all here. And Bill, thank you so much for your kind words. I'm so impressed with Bill and with Patty, the board, Randy and Jackie and their team, and all involved with the foundation, which is in such great hands for the future. And I'm so proud of the foundation and honored to have been allowed to play a small part as it's become the community leader that it now is. So blessed to have seen the foundation evolve from simply being a brick and mortar organization for the benefit only of Port Huron back when I joined the board, to become now dedicated to the entire county, recognizing that no city or area of our county can thrive alone, and that lasting progress can only occur when all of us countywide work together. I'm blessed to see so many foundation contributions to the county, including so many legacy projects such as the Blue Water River Walk, the Knowlton Museum, the St. Clair Plaza, the Bridge to Bay Trails, and the Boardwalk Theater. And to see the foundation become an organization with $100 million of assets, and to last year alone, having given more than $5 million to so many deserving organizations and to students who need scholarships. All of this has happened because of the work, the great work and generosity of so many people, and also the foundation's recognition of certain truths. First, that we're a county of great generosity and the power of giving individuals and families the ability to fulfill their charitable wishes, whatever they may be, is so significant. And giving them the confidence, as the foundation does, that their gifts will always be forever professionally and appropriately handled to pursue their dreams. The truth that success comes not from dictating from on high, but from empowering the community it serves by recognizing the strength of its committees, community and donor funds, and all involved with the foundation to make independent decisions. The truth that inclusion and diversity from top to bottom is so incredibly powerful and strengthens the foundation in our community. Proven so clearly just by the leadership alone of our foundation women chairs. Donna Neester, the pioneer, Dr. Rinda Judy Saman, and now, of course, Patty. The truth that the foundation recognizes that it will always be a work in progress and limited to what it can accomplish alone, and success requires intelligent partnering with donors, other nonprofits, the private sector, and governmental units. And one final truth, be lucky. Have the luck to hire the perfect leader at the right time, as we did 22 years ago. When Randy became our president, so much of the foundation's success is directly due to you, Randy, and your great skill, dedication, and hard work. And have the luck that Randy and Bev would choose that here is where they would stay with us, despite having so many opportunities to go elsewhere. Whatever my contributions to the foundation, to the Y, and to other causes, I have received personally so much more in return. How fortunate it is to work a lifetime beside and with so many caring and committed people of all backgrounds and ages. To be part of causes benefiting others, to see the joy and appreciation of those helped. To learn from those you work with, and to develop so many deep and enduring friendships. So many here in this room understand the truth about being involved, the great gift of being able to join with others for others, and to be part of something bigger than yourself. That's not a sacrifice, that's a blessing. And I'm so humbled by this award and thankful to be linked to the organization and to the past recipients and its most recent recipients, Jim Atchison, Frank Moore, Fred Moore, and of course, Don and Marty. And those deserving who will come after me. And making this even sweeter is being recognized with my dear friend Donna Neaster. With our friendship beginning so many years ago as young professionals, with our firm's offices down the hall from one another in the old Michigan National Bank building. Our paths crossing so many times and in so many ways, working together, having fun together. Donna has contributed a lifetime of energy, intelligence, and class to our community, and has shown us how to live in the good times and how to live with grace in the tough times. Nobody is more deserving than Donna. Finally, I so appreciate support from those in my life, my personal life, my parents who provided me an example of service and how to live, my mentors in the law, Norm Beauchamp and the late Pat O'Sullivan, my law partners, Dave Whipple, who we just lost, Keith Zick, John Adair, Janelle Mossett, and Kellen Elliott, my big brother, who's always been so supportive, and his partner, Linda Manick, my sister-in-law, Lisa Hartman, who's the sister I never had, and her husband, Mark, and of course, our children, Steve and Elizabeth. Gail and I are so proud of their accomplishments, but even more so of the people they've become. And Steve's wife, Nikki, so special to all of us, and she's back in Dublin holding down the fort for their 4 daughters, ages 10 to 9 months. And of course, Gail, 43 years of love and support, always committed to the community and supportive of my efforts, and my causes have been our causes. And she has been a longtime community contributor in her own right. Thank you so much. And thank you all so much. You're all here because you believe in the foundation and you believe in the community. Thank you. God bless.
Really well done. Really well done.
Pictures or the pictures?
After. Hey, look, he forgot his award.
Congratulations, Chuck. Well deserved. Our community is blessed to have a long history of people who make a career in life out of giving back. Many of you here tonight deserve thanks and recognition for the time, energy, passion, and money you give back to your community and to your favorite causes. So in a room full of deserving people like we have here tonight, what is it that makes one woman stand above the rest? What does it take for that incredible person to rise above to the point where she becomes an exception? She is not the norm. She does not do what most people do. No, Donna Neaster is not like other people. And our community and our community foundation are better because of her. Donna grew up with her family on a farm in Macomb County. After she received her accounting degree from Northwood University, she moved to Port Huron in 1978 to start her career with the firm of Linscheid, Austin, Frome, and Lovett, which today is known as Austin, Neester, Schweihofer, and Finnegan. Donna's first memory of the Community Foundation came from an annual dinner she attended in the 1980s with her friend and mentor, Doug Austin. Doug spent many, many years on the Community Foundation board. In the late 1990s, she began a journey with Jim Atchison and his team at Atchison Ventures and Atchison Foundation. That journey would shape the future of the south side of Port Huron and the Community Foundation itself. That journey would also provide the opportunity for Donna to become her own person and to put her own touch of love and passion into her work and into her community. She joined the Community Foundation Board in 2003 and was the driving force behind the foundation's close partnership with the Atchison Foundation. Over the last 21 years, Donna served on multiple committees of the foundation, including governance, audit, executive committee, executive compensation, and she was the initial chair of our Complete Your Degree program. Donna quickly became known for her generous spirit, her ability to make everyone feel loved and important, and for her ability to instill belief that the foundation can and would do great things. Some of you in this room will recall some of the early projects that took shape because of Donna's involvement and support, including Studio 1219, the Youth Home, Community Renaissance Program, Oak Crest Homes, the outdoor fireplaces along the Black River, the giant chess and checker set near the Yacht Club, the Atrium Restaurant, which is now home to Blue Water Allies, and one of the biggest of all, the Blue Water River Walk, which is 10 years old this year. And while Donna is certainly proud of places and things in bricks and mortar, she is happiest when she is helping people. One woman at a time, one child at a time, one family at a time. She has that special gift of being able to make everyone feel important. When the foundation was doing the annual back to school backpack giveaway events, Donna would spend countless hours helping young children pick out backpacks, clothes, and supplies, and loving every minute of it. She is a founding member of the Women's Initiative and recalls the very early days when the 100 Women event was just a concept. I believe the last 100 Women event that was held last fall was actually 300 women. This event has become so successful that the men's group, C3, they just stopped competing with us. Just saying. However, rumor has it that was Hale's fault. Donna did suggest, however, because she's a problem solver, that the Women's Initiative would be happy to contract with C3 for some event planning if you guys would need some help. She and her family established their own donor-advised fund in 2009, and for many years, Donna hosted fundraising events to support women dealing with cancer. In 2012, she was elected board chair of the Community Foundation, the first woman in that position. In 2014, she was recognized by Northwood University with their Distinguished Woman of the Year Award. In 2015, she received the Community Philanthropy Award from the Council of Michigan Foundations. She spent several years on the Michigan Community Service Commission, and Crain's Detroit Business Magazine recognized her as one of the most influential women in Michigan. Beyond her tireless service to the foundation, Donna is passionate about McLaren Port Huron Hospital, SONS, the YMCA, Port Huron Museum, and the Blue Water Recovery and Outreach. She has directed numerous grants and gifts to a wide range of local nonprofits, including Mid-City Nutrition, Safe Horizons, Woodrow Wilson Elementary School, and Cleveland Elementary School. Around the foundation office, Donna has a reputation of being one of the staff's strongest friends, partner, and supporter, and is often the bringer of gifts, treats, and sweets. I recently learned that for Nurses Day, Donna took 400 cookies to the McLaren Hospital for the nurses. Donna Neester is one of the most prominent voices for philanthropy that this region has ever had, and I am so incredibly proud to ask Donna to join us to receive this honor.
Our photographer says one more.
Lucky me, I get an escort. Thanks. Patty, thank you so much for that very kind and over-the-top introduction. I'm so humbled in accepting the Distinguished Service Award. As I look around and see so many people in this room that I know that have given of their time, their finances, and thought-provoking ideas to make our community better. It's also a special night because I have almost my entire family here, which really just adds to everything. It's also the cherry on the top that I am sharing tonight with my dear friend, Chuck Kelly. Chuck has been one of my strongest mentors and loudest cheerleaders. He was a huge voice when it came to my being nominated as the chair of the Community Foundation. Being the foundation chair was such a privilege, and I will always relish the time. Chuck was also instrumental in my being named the first female board member and president of the Port Huron Golf Club. You can only imagine how tough that was for Chuck when we were at the annual membership, and when my name was presented, somebody yelled out, "Don Neester, who's he? I've never heard of him." Well, although my memories of the time are a little different, Chuck, I'm so glad that you pushed me forward in that role. In preparing for tonight, which started about a year ago, I was asked a lot of questions from Randy, Jackie, and Sue, just for me to reflect on the many years that I've been involved with the foundation. And one question was, what is my very first memory of giving back? My memory is very vivid. I refer to it as forced philanthropy. I went to a parochial school. I was 5 years old when I started, and on that very first day, I was presented with a cardboard box. It was referred to as a bank. We were saving money for a children's group. I promised that at 5 years old, I had no idea what that meant, but my bank was filled every week because the consequences of not doing it were just too scary. So I can't really say that started my role of wanting to get back. I think it really was our family, and it was one of our core values. It always wasn't a monetary donation with my parents, but it was their act of giving, whether my dad stopped on the side of the road to fix a tire, or help somebody who needed equipment repaired, or quietly passing money on to someone who needed it for groceries or rent. And my mom was all about the food. Maybe that's why I always brought chocolate to Community Foundation board meetings, and now I can do it at Eastern Bank board meetings. But anyway, Mom often would make more food so she could give it to others. And we often find, I'll call them strangers because I didn't know them, sitting at our table. And it wasn't as much that they needed food, but they needed some companionship and friendship. So it was with their giving that's been installed in every member of our family, including nieces and nephews. So when my mom passed, we did create the Neester Family Donor Advised Fund that Patty mentioned. It was the best conduit for us. We could have funds, contributions sent right to the Community Foundation. They could invest it. They could suggest grants. We as a family could talk about them. The Community Foundation would then write the checks, and they do the thank you notes. Really, best of all worlds. So thank you so much for doing the donor advised funds. I mentioned when we started there were lots of questions about philanthropy. Well, I was given many opportunities and wanted to participate from first grade, high school, and college. But I can tell you all of my ideas did not work out. In college, I volunteered at the Midland Hospital. I was a reader to children in the pediatrics ward. It was a great thing. That was a time when parents weren't allowed to stay with their sick children or someone who just had surgery. So parents would be ushered out at 8 o'clock, and I would walk in ready to read. Well, here comes the bad part. One night, a young girl had her tonsils out, and she started to get sick. Well, personal note, I have a very strong gag reflex. So without giving you the gory details, that was the last time I was ever able to read at Midland Hospital. Moving on, when I was out of college, I started my career, as was mentioned, at Lynchite Austin, Froman Lovett. And the partners there were true believers in giving to the community. All the staff members were encouraged to join a service group or a project so that we could be involved. They only had 2 requisites. You could never do accounting for any nonprofit or any group. That was your day job. You had to do something else. And the other was if you joined, you had to participate. It was a great way for me, I was new to the area, to get involved. And one of the things that I did was Quota Club of Port Huron. And there I met, you've seen both of their pictures on the slideshow, Helen David and Virginia Farmer. Those ladies had a fire for giving, and they really got everybody involved. Around the same time, I also got involved with Port Huron Hospital. I was a volunteer, chair of Festival of Trees, and finally board chair of the foundation. And I really want to take this time to do a shout out to Denise Brooks, who taught me so much about the fundamentals of giving and working with donors. Remember, I'm a CPA, I should know about budgeting, but Denise taught me that you really had to watch what you spent on an event because you were supposed to make more money than you spent. That was a really good lesson for me. She also taught the pyramid of giving, which has been a valuable tool for me to use between the Atchison Foundation and when I work with nonprofits who are coming to us for funding. And the last one that I really remember is Denise said, you had to thank somebody 7 times before they ever heard it. Well, Denise Brooks, I know I saw you somewhere. I want to thank you 7,000 times for being so generous with your education. I seemed to do a lot in those early years. So that was when I started what became the Breast Cancer Fund at Port Huron Hospital. With my involvement at Port Huron, I had understood that there are a lot of underinsured women who couldn't get help. So we created a fund through shopping where we were able to help underinsured women get mammograms, help with treatment, and some of the incidentals that would happen with that. The last one that was held at my house, we had over 200 people. And if you know me, you know that I don't do anything alone. Sometimes folks are unwittingly volunteered, but they're there full force. So I really want to give a little thank you to the beginning of that fundraiser, to my sister Sherry and to Leslie Green, who both decided to be consultants, one for Pampered Chef, the other for Longaberger Baskets, so all of their commission could go into the fund. I also had Dolores Noble, and if you attended the event, I know you were there for the food. Dolores would take days making her Mexican food, and you could only get it one night at my house. Dolores isn't able to be with us tonight, but we're going to be sure she hears this message. I also want to do a shout out to two Atchison Venture retirees, Mary Schneider and Mary Russell, who was also very helpful in the logistics of the event. The event got so big that finally we had to stop at the house, and luckily I was with Jim Atchison at the time, and we could move it to the Seaway Terminal. When I mentioned the Breast Cancer Fund, I am reminded of another fund at the Community Foundation. It is the Lisa Harris Pink Ribbon of Hope Fund. 17 years ago, I was hosting yet another event, but this was for the staff, and I did it at my beloved Studio 1219. Kyle McCalman was our wine host. And shortly before the event, he called and asked if he could have his brother-in-law attend the event. He said to get him out of the house. I, of course, said yes, but the event was really for my staff, so that's where my attention would be. That night, I met Brian Harris on a personal level. I'd only known him selling me things from the Harris house. You know, there are two sayings. One is opposites attract, and the other is like-minded folks connect. Well, Brian and I connected. Brian, his children, and the McCalman family created a fund at the Community Foundation in memory of Lisa Harris and Brian's wife. They had fundraisers called Sip for a Cure and provided assistance to the same group of women that I was trying to help. 17 years later, Brian and I are still together. He's attended many more events than I'm sure he ever wanted to, but he was right there by my side. And it always gives me great pleasure to hear Brian tell me of his random acts of kindness with a big smile on his face. You know, giving is catchy. Catch that bug tonight. Let's go back to the Community and Foundation. My involvement really did begin with the District Foundation. Doug Austin was really involved, and he invited me to attend that annual dinner. I was in my mid to late 20s, by far the youngest person in the room. But I learned so much being a fly on the wall and looking how much the District Foundation meant to the community and to this group of businessmen and their reason for funding it. The foundation became the Community Foundation, and I would often tease Doug that he could no longer be in that secret society. Doug talked about the endowment funds and the Community Foundation often because he wanted to be sure that we were telling our clients the benefits of endowment funds and that lasting legacy that they could give. At one point, Doug was responsible for getting more funds than anyone else. It really is tonight, I want to share that award with him and all that he did for the foundation and for helping me at a very early in my career get so involved. So let's fast forward a little bit, and I can talk about another blessing. And that was when Jim Atchison asked me to come in and be the president of the Atchison Foundation. Jim was a true philanthropist. He had no hidden agenda. He really only wanted to better the community, and specifically the South Side. I know all of you have experienced it, but that joy of giving just resonates through your entire body. I was often saddened when Jim couldn't join us for a ribbon cutting or a grant presentation, but I can tell you he never missed a playground opening, something at the hospital, the Maritime Fund at the museum, or when he was given the opportunity to cook hot dogs for kids. Jim allowed me to take the things that I did on a small level and ramp it up. My day job turned into my new job, and I was able to have my passion daily. You've heard me say that I was asked a lot of questions to get ready for tonight. And yes, I have lots of memories, and I'm not going to bore you with all the details. But one question that I hear from a lot of people is either what is my favorite project or the one that I thought was impactful. It's kind of funny, because the person that asks me the question usually answers it, because they're sure it was the Riverwalk, the Renaissance Zone, Studio 1219, or the backpack event. And although I love all of those projects, the most impactful happened 22 years ago. I was on the search committee to hire our new president, a new president that was elevated above where our community foundation stood at the time. As I sat in those interviews, there was one standout, and his name is Randy Myers. So please reflect on the last 22 years on how much we have changed, grown, and become involved. And little did I know 22 years ago, when I was being on that search committee, that I was actually meeting one of my closest friends, Randy. I also have a personal part with another member of the Community Foundation, and that's Jackie Hanton. I've known Jackie since she was in college, slightly before college, because I was so close with Mark. And I recall when Jackie was at my kitchen table, she was about to graduate from MSU, we were talking about her future, and she simply said, "I want to be a philanthropist." I hadn't heard that before. So Jackie, it is truly with great pride that I've watched you grow in your role in philanthropy, and you continue to set the bar high. And I must admit that I'm also really happy when your daughters look at me and call me Nana. We are celebrating the 80 years of the Community Foundation, and this county is so fortunate to have a foundation that meets the entire geographic area. It also serves as a conduit to leave a lasting legacy. I have sat on all committees at the foundation. I think audit committee was the longest at about 20 years. Can't say I recommend it, but anyway. In everything the foundation does, the donors are at the top of mind, making sure that we fulfill their wishes. This foundation is incredible at bridging gaps and convening partners, and it's done at every level. My position as president of the Atchison Foundation allowed me to be a part of two foundations, ours and the one in Broward County in Florida. And really it was a great role because I was able to see best practices in both groups and share the information with each other. Broward is much larger than we are, although I think, Randy, when you came in, we were at about 25 million.
Not even close.
So I think big. So now think of 100 million. But even though working with the larger foundation, I can tell you ours is much more progressive. And one example of that is our strong Youth Advisory Council. They vet out their grants. They are the toughest grant makers we have. They vet out their grants, and they have no problem saying no. May I please ask the members of the current YAC board that are here to stand up?
Where'd they go? They're here.
We know they're here.
They're here. Where'd they go, Yak?
Well, they must be out looking at a grant. As I look around, I also see I see Natalie Green here, a prior president of the YAC Council. So would all prior members of the YAC Council stand? You are looking at your future leaders. So as I wrap up these remarks, I have a couple of thank yous. First, to my family, Brian's family. Whenever there is need, they're the first ones I call, and they come. To the foundation staff, you are so unrecognized, and you do such incredible work. And tonight, oh my gosh, you did incredible. I will say it felt a little odd because I think this was the first time I didn't serve on the committee, but you did a great job. And I have a major shout out to the Atchison staff, Mike, Leslie, Lisa, Pat, and Dave. They have been part of almost every project, whether it's mine or when the foundation has needed help. Whether it's Mike picking up 100 hams and 100 bags of oranges and delivering them to Cleveland School, to Lisa, who would run to an event when suddenly I couldn't make it. Dave helped often with logistics, and Pat, she really will do anything. I appreciate all of you so much. I did leave out Leslie by intention. Leslie has been with me, I should say stuck with me, for 28 years. She knows everything, or as they say, where the bodies are buried. She manages my schedule, which gets overwhelming. She usually knows the answer to the question before she asks me. Really, she does it all. Thanks, Les. I know Chuck talked about it. When you give, you get back 100-fold. And it's part of your personal life. Most of you know that I've had a health struggle for a little over a year. This community has wrapped its arms around me. I got to truly know so many of you either because of the Community Foundation, nonprofit work, or you're involved with our community. There is no donation large enough to ever thank you for all of that support. So tonight, as you leave, please feel that joy of giving and your involvement in the Community Foundation. Happy 80th. Are we anniversary or birthday? Anniversary. Anniversary and birthday. So thank you all so very much.
Well, now I feel bad here talking about Denise Brooks and running an efficient fundraising event. So Denise, in all transparency, and this is Jackie's event, we are so far in the red tonight, it's ridiculous. But we only do this on a rare occasion, and it's awesome. So before we adjourn for the night, let me just share a few thoughts on our future. As I said earlier, there's a reason the rear view mirror in your car is smaller than your windshield. And through the windshield of this community and of this community foundation, our future looks bright. For 80 years, your community foundation has always been just a collection of people willing to step forward and be involved and to make a difference. Our family ties here run deep, and they've run deep for 80 years. Mother and daughter teams like Sonal and Amara McKeem, husband and wife teams like Steve and Dawn Schweihopper, or extended families, really extended families like the Kramer family, starting with Jerry and Mino, on to Carissa Kramer, Mr. Carissa Kramer. I asked Carissa if I could say that. She said it was fine. That family extends to A.J. Armbruster and his wife Beth Ann, also key friends of the foundation for a long time. You can see there's a trend here, family ties for 80 years. And following in Chuck's footsteps, we have a long list of men who will be leaders for years to come, including Bill Schwartz, Cliff Thomason, Will Oldford, Duncan Smith, Josh Chapman, Hale Walker, John Tomlinson, Mike Cansfield, Mike Wendling, and Jim Sharon, just to name a few. We have a long list of women with a passion for giving back and making an impression. Patty Manley, Renda Jundi Saman, Emily Vinkier Pierce, Therese Damon, Janelle Mossett, Sherry Faust, and our own wonderful Jackie Hanton. Our future is bright because of the people in this room. Thank you for joining us.